Magandang umaga, Malacañang Press Corps, and welcome sa ating press briefing ngayong umaga, March 26. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. led today's sectoral meeting on the government's response to El Nino and the outlook for La Nina. President Marcos has ordered the activation of the El Nino Southern Oscillation Online Platform, or ENOP, a centralized repository of data for the understanding, monitoring, and addressing the impacts of El Nino and La Nina. This will primarily serve the public and decision makers as well. In attendance at today's sectoral meeting were the El Nino Task Force headed by the Secretaries of National Defense, Science and Technology, Agriculture, and the Environment and Natural Resources. The Secretaries of DILG, DBM, Energy, and Communications were also present. Updates were given on government interventions in water management, food security, energy, health, and public safety. A quick climate outlook shows that El Nino continues to weaken and will likely persist until May 2024, with a transition to El Nino Southern Oscillation, or ENSO, neutral conditions in April to June 2024. La Nina is likely to develop within the next 6 months. And to give us the complete details, we have with us the DOST Secretary, Renato Solidum Jr. Secretary Solidum, good morning.
Thank you, Daphne. Good morning to everyone. As mentioned, the El Nino in the tropical Pacific continues to weaken, but the impacts, like hotter and drier conditions, will continue. Although the El Nino will transition to neutral by April, May, June 2024 season, there is also the increasing probability of La Nina at 62% in June, July, August season. Also, we need to emphasize that historically, pre-developing La Nina is characterized by below normal rainfall. Therefore, the possibility of a slight delay of the onset of rainy season is likely, and its effect will combine with the effects of the ongoing El Nino. Hence, if we look at the impacts of the ongoing El Nino, starting October, we have seen some provinces to have dry spell, but up to March, we have seen the increasing number of provinces affected by dry spell and drought. As of March 24, 37 provinces experienced drought condition, meteorological drought, and 17 experienced dry spell and 13 dry condition. Now, the rainfall forecast would show us that by April, there will still be a lot of areas to be affected by way below normal rainfall, more than 60%, and also below normal. And rains will come by May, but there will still be other areas that will have less rainfall. So the forecast for the ongoing effects of El Nino would continue for April. We have 48 provinces to be affected by drought, 24 dry spell. But by May, it will be 54 provinces to be affected by drought and 10 dry spell. So almost the same if you combine both the drought and dry spell, but the drought-affected provinces will continue to persist based on DOST Pagaso's outlook, 25 by June, 23 by July, and 10 by August. So there will still be some provinces to be affected by the combined effect of El Nino and the preparation for La Nina, which would bring in less normal rainfall. Hence, we need to continue doing the operations for El Nino preparedness, but also keeping in mind that we need to prepare for La Nina in the second half of the year. So what are the chances of La Nina in the coming season? There is a 62% chance of La Nina developing by June, August 2024, and that percentage increases as we move to the later half of the year. So government agencies will continue to implement the El Nino actions and, of course, later on, transition into preparing for La Nina. So that's the summary. Thank you very much.
Okay, Secretary, would you like to talk a little bit about the new app or the online platform?
The El Nino Southern Oscillation Platform has been created by DOST through FIVOX with inputs from DOST Pag-asa and all the agencies that addresses the five sectors, no? Yung food, sa water, sa health, public safety, and energy. And the public can actually look at the platform to know more about these different sectors, what the government agencies are doing, but they can also look at information materials that can help them prepare for El Nino and later on La Nina, and to make sure that they contribute to the preparedness of their communities for these hazards. The citizens can also report what they observe on the ground, and there's a citizen survey that can be used. There's a QR code in the website, and this can be easily accommodated through a dashboard. As the reports come along, then the more data will be stored in the app, and the more people can see which other areas are experiencing the same effects. There will be another part of the dashboard or the platform that will be exclusive for local governments to have more detailed reporting, and also the other agencies reporting, so that the president and other executives can look at the overall response of government, so that we can have the same set of information to be shared also to the public later on. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We can open the floor to questions. Maris Umali, GMA 7.
Good morning.
It's on.
So,
It's on.
All right. Good morning, Secretary Solidum. You mentioned a while ago that there are 48 provinces that will be experiencing drought in April, and it will increase to 54 by May, and 24 will be experiencing dry spell in April and 10 in May. What are the implications on the different areas that will be also experiencing a drought? And can you also cite to us these specific regions or areas in the Philippines that are particularly at risk from the impacts of El Nino?
okay. By April, let me just cite the overall coverage of the drought and dry spell. By April, almost the whole country will be affected, no? Kasi total kasi ng ano yan 70, 72, no? Both drought and dry spell. By May, the total is 64, so lesser number, and the less affected areas will be starting in southeastern Mindanao. Yung southern Mindanao, less affected na ng drought and dry spell. Now, the implication is that we will still have the same preparedness even though it's drought or dry spell. There's still lack of water. And so the lack of water will be the main factor for the different responses of both local government and the public.
Sir, we just interviewed a week ago the National Water Resources Board, and they said there will be some areas that will be affected by the water allocation. How exactly are we considering this? Of course, there will be lack of water, as you've mentioned, in those specific areas, considering that there will be drought and dry spell. So with this condition that there will be a lot of water allocations in specific areas in Metro Manila, NCR, and some nearby provinces, how are you considering this, and what are the other actions being taken by the government?
DNR is on top of the situation. Actually, the president has also mentioned that perhaps DNR can look at how to properly allocate the water depending on the time of day, because, for example, hospitals need to have supply of water continuously, and the household would also need water, and the irrigation, the farmers would also need water. So NWRB need to ensure that optimum water allocation is implemented all over the country, and in particular in Metro Manila, in preparation for this prolonged effects of the combined El Nino and pre-preparation states of La Nina, standby deep wells will be reactivated. It's not ordered yet. And this will allow MWSS for the temporary use during El Nino. No? There were also constructions of new deep wells in the East concession areas, parts of Metro Manila and Rizal. This water allocation is really monitored by NWRB, so this will be covering the whole country.
Okay, Jean Mangaluz.
Hi, can I have a clarification on the app? Can you explain it a bit more so people are expected to download it? So this is a new app.
Oh no, it's a website.
Oh, it's a website.
Yeah, it's a website, so they don't need to download, but it's very easy to use. You can see interactive maps. You can see the forecast and the actual El Nino events, the affected areas. But also they can actually look at videos and also information materials that they can read on, so that they can actually implement conservation strategies for both water and electricity.
So
You could have a look at the app now. It's at the website now.
Yeah, it's
right there.
https://enop@ndrrmc.gov.ph.
so people can also report the
Yes.
situation.
If you scroll the front page, there's a QR code that the citizens can report. And the dashboard can actually accommodate what they report.
Okay, Alan Francisco, PTV4.
Hi, ma'am. Hi, Sec. Good morning. Sir, what's the effect of this El Nino to our food sector?
Well, DA has made a lot of preparation, and this was reported earlier on. The main issue is that we need to make sure that affected farmers are assisted. But to prevent the to mitigate the potential effect of El Nino, cloud seeding operations have been done in southern Cagayan and northern Isabela through the efforts of DA, Bureau of Soil and Water Management, DOST Pag-asa, and Philippine Air Force. And based on the experiences that we had, it can still be done and can be continued given the right clouds and advice of Pag-asa. And the plan is to make sure that this is in the mountainous areas upstream of dams, so that if ever there will be rain, then we can still store the water in the dams. Now, for the food sector, DA has implemented the alternate wetting and drying, and with the right seeds, because they used for this year 60% are hybrid rice, which would utilize less water. Actually, the yield has increased because you don't need the continuous water anyway for the rice. They also implemented the the quick turnaround, so that people can really plant right away and still use the available water in the soil. Now, for those areas that have problems, the repair and rehabilitation of water harvesting structures were implemented, pumps are being provided, and of course, alternate livelihood through the provision of like native animals, and of course for the fisher folk, they have alternate technologies that they can use. No, DA is also monitoring the supply of basic commodities and agricultural products.
Okay. Eden Santos, Net 25.
Good morning po, Secretary. Nabanggit niyo po kanina, hindi pa pinag-uutos yung pag-reactivate po ng deep wells. Gaano po makatutulong itong mga deep wells na to? Parang hindi nata ganun kadami yung mga available pong deep wells, especially dito sa Metro Manila. And then, gaano po kalaki pa yung ating water conservation sa mga dams bago po dumating yung La Nina?
Okay, sa ulat ng DNR, yung critical dyan, yung bandang buwan ng Mayo, na kung saan yung level ng mga dam ay baka nasa mababang level na based on the operating level. Kaya ito mga deep well ay makakatulong sa pagbibigay ng dagdag na volume ng water. Alam nyo naman na hindi natin pinagpatuloy ang paggamit ng mga deep wells sa mga lugar na mayroon ng supply ang dalawang concessionaire. At iniingatan din natin na gumamit ng deep well kasi kapag sobrang gamit ng tubig, may epekto sa ground. No? So, kaya minamanage muna kung kailan ito i-operate at binabantayan ng mabuti.
Ilang deep wells po yung meron tayo kung merong dati sa DNR?
Wala akong sa ngayon na datos na matatandaan ko. Pero sinabi ng DNR na may mga standby deep wells na sila na na-identify.
Na pwede pong itap anytime?
Yes, anytime.
Ayun. Thank you po.
Okay, Maricel Halili, TV5.
Hi, Sec. Magandang umaga po. Sir, you mentioned earlier na meron tayong 62% chance of experiencing La Nina by June. So what should we expect during the transition period? Ano po yung pwede nating maranasan?
Yung 62% by June, ito yung probability na magkaroon ng La Nina in the next 6 months. So, ibig sabihin, yung epekto ng La Nina, hindi naman makikita kagad yan sa June. Baka later parts pa ng second half of the year. Pero dahil sa historical data, bago mag-La Nina, ang mga dumarating na hangin ay mainit at tuyo. Kaya kahit nagkakaroon na ng paghina ang El Nino, na ang epekto ay kunti din ang ulan at tuyo din ang hangin at mainit, nadagdag pa ngayon yung pre-La Nina preparation months. So naprolong ngayon yung buwan na meron tayong mga drought. So yun po yung magiging epekto, na delayed yung onset ng rainy season. So our actions that before were intended ng parang second half lang ng year, kailangan natin ipagpatuloy hanggang third quarter for the El Nino or the drought effect.
So, ibig sabihin, sir, hanggang kailan po natin posibleng maranasan yung matinding tagtuyot?
Ang nabanggit ko kanina, meron pa ring mga probinsya na may drought by August. No? 10 drought and 1 dry spell and 2 dry conditions. So, ang kasagsagan niyan is April and May, and then pababa na yung bilang June, July until August. September, wala nang nakikita so far ang pag-asa na drought condition.
Okay, Harley Valbuena, DZME. Please pass the mic to the back.
Hello, good morning, Secretary. Sir, even though the El Nino continues to weaken, do you still see the worsening of its impact given the onset of the summer or dry season? Ano po kaya yung epekto ng summer sa impact ng El Nino?
Well, kasama na yung summer and El Nino combined, no? Kaya nga by April and May yung kasagsagan ng drought and dry spell. Yan yung talagang nabanggit na rin ng DOST Pag-asa yan. But because of the possibility of La Nina and the fact na dry and hotter, mapopulong ngayon yung mga months na meron pang drought condition hanggang August. But the preparation for El Nino and the actions that we should take should be continuous. Now, pagdating naman sa summer, kailangan nating pagtuunan din ng pansin ang epekto ng init ng panahon sa mga tao. Kaya ang DOH ay nagbibigay din ng mga babala patungkol sa kailangang pagprotekta sa ating katawan sa pamamagitan ng pag-hydrate, sa pamamagitan ng pagsuot ng tamang kasuotan, at from time to time yung mga nagtatrabaho sa labas ay sumilong at magpahinga.
Okay, Alvin Baltasar, Radio Pilipinas. Please pass the mic to the back.
Secretary, magandang umaga po. Secretary, kakamustahin lang ho natin yung assistance natin sa mga magsasaka. In particular, yung water assistance sa mga farmers natin, lalo na doon sa Cordillera region.
Ang DA nagbibigay ng mga tulong sa iba't ibang lugar sa Pilipinas at ang report nila base sa kanilang bulletin, may mga lugar na naapektuhan at natulungan nila, no? At lalong-lalo na dito sa Mimaropa kung saan sa Mindoro area ay nag-declare na ng state of calamity. Pagdating naman po sa Cordillera, may mga nabanggit na sunog before. Wala nang forest fire kundi grass fire na lang. At iniisip din na minsan kapag nagka-cloud seed ay makakatulong din sa pag-prevent ng fire sa mga kabundukan.
Secretary, follow-up lang. Kasi ang ina-anticipate naman natin yung pagdating ng La Nina. Kamusta naman yung mga water reservoir natin para maiwasan natin yung magtapo ng tubig, maiwasan yung pag-aksaya ng tubig na umaapaw doon sa mga dam? Yung status ng mga water reservoir natin.
Actually, yung forecast nga dyan sa ating mga dam ay pababa yung tubig. So kung pagsakaling dumating La Nina, sila ang magpupuno pa doon. But definitely ang isang siguro baka mamaya matakel sa second half ng ating press con with the DOE, yung concern sa magat na alam naman natin na bumababaw. Kaya madalas magpakawala ng tubig ang magat kasi bumababaw yung reservoir. At lalo-lalo na apektuhan ito nung July 1990 earthquake, maraming landslide dyan sa paligid, kaya lalong bumabaw. So that's the issue that they also wanted to look at.
There's an ongoing meeting right now with the DOE and National Irrigation. So mamaya ang briefing natin with DOE. Katrina Domingo, ABS-CBN 2.
Good morning, sir. Sir, can you explain to the public ano yung magiging effect ng La Nina on the strength and severity of typhoons in the latter part of the year?
Okay, pwede ko bang tawagin at ang ating star for all seasons, El Nino star and La Nina star? Sagutin mo yung epekto ng La Nina, yung in terms of the typhoon. Kasi sa El Nino, bumaba ang bilang ng El Nino. Mas maganda na sa climate modeler po natin manggaling yung specific na sagot. Harap ka na doon.
So during La Nina po, usually po ay medyo mas dumadami yung bilang ng ating bagyo since yung pong pag-init ng temperatura ng karagatan, mas malapit yung pag-init sa atin. So therefore po, possible yung potential tropical cyclone development na mas malapit na sa karagatan sa atin. So that is why there is a possibility na during the last quarter of this year, possible po na medyo marami tayong bagyo. And usually, malapit po yung development ng mga bagyo. Therefore, yung preparation po natin medyo lumiliit po since yung mga chances po ng developing ng mga bagyo during La Nina mas malapit sa ating kalupaan. So that is why
Ibig sabihin niya,
Yes.
mas maikli yung lead time.
Yes.
Ito bagyo mas malapit, mas konti lang ang panahon natin na maganda. So dapat handang-handa tayo parati sa mga bagyo.
Sir, so
Sige lang.
sir, so what is the average number of typhoons do we have in a year, and by how much do we expect that to increase with the onset of La Nina?
Okay, may model kayo sa 20 at least, no? So yung El Nino naging 11, ano yung projection natin for the La Nina episode?
For now po, by this year, mga around 13 to 16 na bagyo po ang possible po this year. So, ibig sabihin po, paring below normal dahil yung mararamdaman po kasi natin yung possible effect ng La Nina is last quarter of the year. So, for now po, 13 to 16 typhoons po for this year yung ating predicted, which is below normal dun sa average na 19 to 20 po.
Sir, you mentioned that there will be a shorter lead time because of the frequency.
Oh, the nearness
Because
of
of the
where the
nearness
typhoon
of the-
will originate.
Yeah. Sir, so what is the government doing to preposition programs, projects, or even goods ahead of time?
In any case, ang DSWD naman, ang kanilang standard operating procedure ay nag-preposition yan kasamang OCD. So, marami na tayong experience na ganyan. So, standard operating procedure yan. In fact, nag-improve pa tayo sa ating disaster response plan kasi recently we had a meeting sa first council meeting and we approved the modified National Disaster Response Plan for the better. At yan ay ina-anticipate. The issue now is people should really make sure that they're always ready. Kaya importante po yung LGU level and individual and family level preparedness pagdating sa mga ganitong panahon. Yung El Nino kasi, ang mainit na katubigan ay nasa eastern pa ng Pacific, Central Pacific. So kahit bumagyo doon, hindi abot sa Pilipinas. Ngayon, dito na yung mas mainit na tubig, mas malapit, kaya mas maikli lang ang kanyang tatahakin at dito na sa atin.
Okay, Eden Santos, na 25.
Follow up lang po ako dun sa bagyo na around 13 to 16 this year po, no? Parang kumonte kumpara dun sa 20, talaga taon-taon, hindi po ba? Ito po ba inaasahan natin mas magiging yung malalakas na bagyo or hindi naman po ganun kapaminsala gaya ng mga nakalipas na taon?
Lagi pong may possibility na may mga bagyo na mapaminsala. So not only in terms of malakas yung hangin na dulot nito or possible po yung medyo maraming ulan. So dalawa po yung possible po na posibleng tindi ng magiging epekto po ng ating mga bagyo. So yun po yung kailangan din po nating paghandaan dahil nandito tayo sa combined effects ng El Nino, although weakening siya. So ito po namang La Nina. So medyo kung maaaring maging rain-bearing yung ating mga bagyo. So therefore, medyo maraming ulan pagdating po ng possible arrival po ng La Nina. And ito naman po, yung mga medyo malalakas yung mga hangin. Kapag medyo during the southwest monsoon or habagat, so possible naman din po yung mga malalakas na bagyo in terms of malakas na hangin.
Mababawi natin yung tubig na mawawala sa El Nino.
Hopefully po. So possible po, but then kailangan din po natin yung proper timing ng pagdating ng mga tubig. So kung halimbawa po naman na last quarter ng year na darating yung ating mga pag-ulan due to La Nina, so ang very critical po natin is yung the time na maka-recover yung ating mga water reservoir. So yung July, August, September, hopefully po dito tayo maka-recover ng medyo mas marami po yung ulan na darating para unti-unti pong tataas na yung level ng ating mga water reservoir.
Okay, go ahead, Katrina.
Sir, clarification. Until when do we expect La Nina to persist next year? Do we have a projection already?
Every 6 months yan, but do you have more than the 6 months projection?
So for now, kasi nakikita natin at least first quarter of the following year and it is somewhat weak for now yung nakikita natin. So kailangan we need to keep on monitoring po.
So parang yung ating progression last year sa El Nino, nag-update tayo every month. So just so that you understand, very dynamic yung weather system. So that's why we need to continuously update everyone.
And this is why we have the online portal
the online.
to keep everyone updated with specifics on localities.
So the online platform can make you aware of the potential El Nino or La Nina. And the more data that we actually provide to the platform, the better for the LGUs and the government to really respond to the effect more speedily.
Thank you. Maricel Halili, TV5.
Ma'am, just a follow-up lang po. Yung sinasabi po kanina na pag-ikli nung panahon ng pagbibigay ng warning and preparation, gaano po kaikli yung pinag-uusapan natin? Like kung ngayon, ilang araw po ba yung ginagawa natin pag natutuko
Okay.
yung...
Hindi naman ganun kaikli. Yung sabing, may bagyo at darating na sa Pilipinas, mas maikli kasi yung distansya malapit. Pero ang pag-asa can have a forecast of 2 weeks in advance. Iba yung time of detection ng posibleng may bagyo. Iba yung travel time. Yung travel time ng bagyo ang ating pinapag-usapan. Travel time. So yung preparedness mas mabilis dapat. Okay.
Okay. Few more questions. Jean Mangaluz.
May mga anticipated regions na po ba who will experience these faster storms? May mga regions na po ba na anticipated?
For La Nina, for now, so we need to keep on monitoring yung ongoing effects po ng El Nino. So for La Nina, hindi pa rin po natin nakikita what are the possible areas. But historically, during La Nina conditions, yung mga nasa eastern section ng ating country, especially Eastern Luzon and Eastern Visayas, as well as northeastern Mindanao. So yan po yung mga highly vulnerable areas po during La Nina conditions in terms of above normal or significant surplus po in rainfall.
Okay. Tuesday New, DZBB. Please pass the mic.
Thank you. Hi, sir. Good morning, ma'am. Sir, isa sa concern din natin is public safety, nabanggit po ninyo. Ano po? Can you expound, sir, on sa paanong paraan maaapektuhan ng El Nino at La Nina ang public safety, and how should the government intervene or address this?
Yung public safety in two perspectives. One is on the the hot temperature pagdating sa sunog. Kaya ang DILG through the Bureau of Fire, lalo na nga pagbuwan ng Marso, di ba, fire prevention, talagang kailangan nilang mag-engage sa continuous education and empowerment of communities so that they can actually prepare for the fire. Pagdating din po sa isang effect ay yung kahinaan ng tubig dahil kulang ang ulan. Kapag mahina po ang water pressure sa mga pipes na may leak, doon may chance pumasok yung tubig sa labas na madumi, pumasok sa supply ng tubig. Kaya binabantayan din ng DOH yung mga diseases related to water. No? That is why ginagawan din po ng paraan na yung mga non-revenue water, yung mga leakage water ay ma-prevent at yan ay sa pamamagitan ng pag-ayos ng mga pipe na may sira o luma.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you very much. First of all, thank you to Ms. Annalisa Solis, the officer in charge of climatology, agrometeorology of Pag-asa, and of course, Secretary Solidum of DOST. And thank you, Malacañang Press Corps. We'll see you in a little while. Thank you.